heartily sung, and why not? And so on to the presentation party. And Prince William, His Royal Highness, the President of the FA, in his new role here, meeting the two teams. He's actually an Aston Villa fan. Will he be rooting for another team in claret and blue? I wonder today. Alongside me is Ray Clements, many times an FA Cup winner, depending how many drinks he's had, but it's up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I'm not sure now, in terms of appearances anyway. But Ray, a very good afternoon to you, and what do you detect here from the early nerves that you're seeing?
Yes, I mean, in the build-up, it's been interesting actually, because the West Ham fans are really up for this game. They filled this stadium really with at least 3/4 of an hour to go before kick-off. You can tell they haven't been here for 26 years, whereas the Liverpool fans, they've taken their time getting in. They're here for the kick-off, and in the singing beforehand, the West Ham fans really do believe that they can lift their team against the odds to give Liverpool a really good game. But for me, the experience is here as we're seeing it in the red shirts, and West Ham are going to have to be at their very, very best to give this Liverpool side a good game.
Well, Liverpool really have been flexing their own muscles so forcefully, so effectively in recent weeks under Rafa Benitez, on the back of this club record sequence of 11 straight victories. They're hot, they're very hot at the moment, as they step out in search of their first domestic trophy under their affable but highly respected Spanish coach.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, the Liverpool team, number 25, Jose Reina.
The West Ham fans have been waiting a long, long time for this. And they are determined their team will put on a grand show, as they will hope to do. Well, let's have a look at the teams then, starting with Liverpool. A season for them that began way back in July of last year. Benitez is without the cup-time Robbie Fowler, Luis Garcia, who's suspended, of course, along with West Ham's Hayden Mullins after their joint dismissal, but not Xabi Alonso. His damaged ankle has healed in time to take up his usual role in midfield. So Ray, how's he going to shape up this?
Well, we expect the Liverpool side to play with a flat back four that they've always played with. The interesting thing is further forward. As we see on the screen there, we've got Gerrard in behind Crouch, and that's the way that we understand that's the way they're going to play, with Cisse out on the right-hand side. But don't be surprised if Gerrard and Cisse switch places, and Gerrard comes in from the right and Cisse plays off Crouch. The great thing for Liverpool is Alonso's in there to his range of passing to get the likes of Cisse and Kuhl into the game in wide areas.
Well, now West Ham, and with Mullins missing, Welsh international Carl Fletcher, who at the start of the season was out on loan at Watford. He's drafted into midfield, while on the injury front, to Alan Pardew's relief, both Matt Etherington and Dean Ashton are fit to start. One surpriser perhaps at the back, Argentine Lionel Scaloni starts rather than James Collins.
Yes, certainly that is a surprise, because Scaloni hasn't had the best of seasons in the Premiership, and certainly with something like Harry Kuhl up against him, he will be tested. The interesting thing again there is that Fletcher comes in for the suspended Hayden Mullins, and it allows Rio Coker to break from that middle of the field and support Ashton and Harewood. Rio Coker has got incredible energy, can go box to box. He's scored 2 goals in the last 3 games, I think, for West Ham. And Etherington out on the left-hand side, Benayoun on the right-hand side, both tricky, wide players who can beat the full-backs, but also can come in and join the front two.
And on the subs benches, one name that stands out, of course, at 40 years and 41 days, Teddy Sheringham, the most senior cup finalist in 60 years. Will he get his chance, I wonder, later on in the match? The referee is Alan Wiley, who's making history himself by becoming the first man to take charge of both domestic finals in the same season. Although he wasn't actually the first choice. Mike Dean had originally been chosen, but he had to be changed as he lives too near to Liverpool. A bit hard on him, you would think. But there we are. The 2 assistant referees are Darren Cann and Kerry Richards. And there's a change there too, because Peter Kirkup had to drop out. He had an eye problem. Haven't they all?
No, let's start positively with them.
Well, Liverpool, the first team to win the FA Cup final at the Millennium Stadium in 2001. Will they be the last as well? Alan Pardew hopes and believes not. His team in their change strip of all white with dark sleeves will be getting us underway in a moment or two. Sizzling atmosphere inside the Millennium Stadium today, and it's Ferdinand straight away on the ball. On then by Gabidon. Familiar territory this for him, of course. He's a Welsh international and former Cardiff player. Off goes Gerrard. Searing run down the right. Is that where he's going to start, Ray? Looks that way.
Well, it looks like it straight away that Cisse has joined up the front there with Gerrard is out on his right-hand side, has taken the tackle there straight away. But he will fancy getting at Konchesky. He looks like straight away, as soon as he got it, he fancies he can run him, he can get beyond him and get dangerous balls into the box. So a little change from the formation, but one that we thought may happen.
Liverpool straight onto the front foot, and it will be the skipper, Steven Gerrard, who will look to curl this one in. It's an inviting ball too. Herpier. In fact, the whistle has gone, blown by Alan Wiley for a free kick then to West Ham. Liverpool, who do seem to relish knockout competitions. This is their 8th final in 5 years, and they've lost only 2 of them. Rafa Benitez, who's doing a wonderful job up at Anfield, and certainly intends to build on that. They may have lost the European title they gained on that glorious, improbable night in Istanbul, but on the domestic front, they feel they have made significant strides in narrowing the gap behind Chelsea. Now they're targeting the trophy to keep things ticking over before launching what they feel will be an even stronger challenge next season. Here's Ferdinand. There had been a suggestion he might have started at right back, but Scaloni's playing there, and Collins has to sit it out.
And of course it's Cisse, the front two, is playing out on that left-hand side. He's sort of trying to get himself in between Ferdinand and Scaloni. The ball's to be played in there, because I would imagine that Benitez thinks that the pace of Cisse could certainly get in behind Scaloni and cause West Ham some problems.
He does have blistering pace, Djibril Cisse. A straight choice really between him and Morientes. It's the Frenchman who's won out. Harry Kewell, another who's been in sparkling form for Liverpool this season. He says this is really my first final. Doesn't feel he did himself justice in the previous 2 for Liverpool. In the Carling Cup and of course in the Champions League. And he limped off so early on and was booed off by the Liverpool fans in Istanbul. Ashton, fit to start then? But we wonder how fit. He's been a big doubt for West Ham all week, with a hamstring problem. And they are not easy to recover from. Konchesky, played by Herpier, who was the skipper back in 2001, when Liverpool won the day so late on. Those 2 strikes from Michael Owen to see off the challenge of Arsenal. This is Steve Finnan. So many players in the Liverpool team have been so consistent this season, and he's certainly one of them. Steve Finnan, maybe an unsung hero in many ways. And Wayne, the goalkeeper, 20 clean sheets in the Premiership to earn him the Golden Gloves for the English top flight. This is Gerrard. Gabidon is tight on Cisse. Easy collected by Shaka Hislop, whose career has suddenly taken off again at the age of 37. Here he is playing in a cup final a year ago. I thought that was just about it. He was going to pack the game in. Not so now. He's got the World Cup to look forward to as well, of course, with Trinidad and Tobago in England's group. Anton Ferdinand seeking out, but not finding Benayoun. But Rees has caught out of position now. This is Benayoun, the Israeli. 2 to aim for in the middle. It was Herpier with the interception. And a crucial one too then, as Liverpool was suddenly unhinged. Gerrard flicked on by Crouch. Not sure that was intentional or not. Didn't come off anyway. Here's Sissoko. It's been a revelation in midfield. Now Kewell. Not quite deep enough over Cisse. It was only a few months back, of course, that Sissoko had sustained that serious eye injury that threatened his whole career, let alone playing for Liverpool in a cup final. There he is again. Now he's given it away to Benayoun, who can be a real danger down that right side when he drifts in. He's got a venomous shot too. Came up with a stunner against Tottenham on the last day of the season, when West Ham ran out 2-1 winners, to ruin Tottenham's hopes, of course, of going into the Champions League. There's a talk of skullduggery behind the scenes in terms of before the game. But West Ham got on with the job, and they did it pretty well. Done by Gabidon. Now Peter Crouch. It can't be such a hatball. How do you play him, Ray?
Well, it's very, very difficult because the size of the man, it's very difficult to compete with him in the air. You really have to be looking to pick up second balls. If the right balls are played in and around the 6 and 8 yard area, then obviously you're going to have to compete. But the best way really is to try and make sure that you pick up his flick-ons, because he's virtually impossible to mark in the air when those balls are played up to him like that.
Yet the England squad, of course, for the World Cup finals, Peter Crouch. And maybe a starter too, by the looks of things. Big doubt still, of course, over Wayne Rooney and Michael Owen. It's Ashton to nudge it on. Is it a gamble, do you think, to play Dean Ashton, Ray? I mean, there's been all this talk this week of his injury. And it was only yesterday they decided he was going to train and play.
I think it's a little bit of a gamble. I mean, a hamstring is a funny injury in terms of, you know, normally it's 2 or 3 weeks, and it's just gone a couple of weeks since he had that injury, and I just think it is a little bit of a gamble. He's not the quickest lad in the world anyway.
This is Gerrard looking for Crouch in the middle. It was Scaloni who managed to get it away. Now Etherington. Another whose place in this final had been under threat because of injury. But his was an impact injury, really. That is slightly different, an ankle problem.
Just finishing what I was saying about Dean Ashton there, I think, you know, that he is a slight gamble by putting him in there. But what he's actually doing is, when Liverpool's back four have possession, he's dropping off and trying to look after Alonso, who everybody knows makes Liverpool play.
Rio Coker has broken it up successfully then for West Ham. He is going to be a key man in the field, in the midfield, no two ways about that. Rio Coker, 22 tomorrow, and hoping then to be the youngest ever FA Cup final winning captain. The great Bobby Moore was the youngest previously, back in 1964, when he held the trophy aloft after their win over Preston. Late and dramatic win, as I recall, 3-2. Now Fletcher in for Hayden Mullins, suspended in midfield. The Welsh international, who was saying how much he relished playing against Steven Gerrard when Wales took on England, but he said he didn't get over it for 2 days. An unexpected chance for Fletcher, who's on the ball here because of Mullins' ban. He's hardly played in the Premiership in truth, Fletcher, but he came up with an absolute stunning goal in the win over Tottenham, his first in the Premiership, and all of a sudden he's flavour of the month. It's now a bright and sunny day in the Welsh capital after a lot of rain overnight. I thought at one stage you might have to put the roof out. Did not turn out to be the case.
It's been interesting now, hasn't it, that even in this early stage we've seen 3 or 4 people trying to turn quickly and slipping on the turf, because I believe this pitch has only been laid for just over a week and probably it's still bedding in. That's why they were worried about rain and why they were thinking about keeping the roof closed.
They were mowing it at 3 o'clock this morning apparently, and then again at 5 o'clock. It does look in pristine condition. Fletcher for West Ham. And at the moment, with almost 10 minutes gone, don't seem overawed. It's mainly a young team being nurtured by Alan Pardew.
I mean, this is the biggest game they've played in for some time, but let's not forget they have been in this stadium the last couple of years in playoffs, so they know about the atmosphere, albeit they've never played in a game as big as this. Although some people would say that trying to get in the playoffs to get in the Premiership is probably nearly as big these days.
Financially, yeah. Etherington, the former Tottenham player, who's been a big hit for West Ham though. That's Ashton, looking for the burly figure of Marlon Harewood. And his physical presence will certainly be a threat to Liverpool. Harewood, the man who scored the winning goal in the semi-final against Middlesbrough. Herpier. Wide of him is Finnan. No question West Ham are the underdogs. And then back in 1988, as every Liverpool fan will tell you with gritted teeth and a clenched fist, so were Wimbledon, as rank outsiders could be. Even their mums didn't think they could do it, but Bobby Gould's team overcame the longest of odds to embarrass the finest side in the land at the time. Here's Harewood, he's got a sight of goal here! A very important block there by John Arnorisa, flung himself in his path as Harewood threatened to race clear.
Well, it was a good block by Risa, certainly, and he needed to do, because it was him in the first place who gave it away with a sloppy pass, but he managed to get back and get that block in, because certainly Harewood struck that fiercely, and it would have certainly tested Rayner, I'm sure.
But an early encouraging sign here for the Hammers. Etherington will take it. Ferdinand has arrived in the middle now. Fletcher making a late run. And then Rayner having to hold on there against Dean Ashton. He can be menacing in the air. It's one of his strengths. Good all-round, old-fashioned type of centre-forward, Dean Ashton. And a very accomplished one too, in terms of his technique. He got the 2 goals that saw off Manchester City in one of the earlier rounds. Gerrard lurking with intent along with Cisse, and he was certainly upended then. Steven Gerrard clipped by Fletcher.
That's a lovely little movement, Alonso and Gerrard there, Cisse, and certainly Gerrard was looking to be coming onto that for a shot. If Fletcher hadn't have just tackled him from behind, quite rightly, free kick. Let's hope there's not a yellow card so early in the game, but certainly, yes, the referee's being sensible and just giving him a good warning about it.
Gerrard looking to strike a dagger there through the West Ham heart, as he can do in such deadly fashion with those runs from midfield. The new Player of the Year in England, Steven Gerrard. And of course destined to be a key man for England as well. Hovering here, along with John Arnorisa, who can really batter them. He's got 3 terrific goals in the FA Cup already this season, the Norwegian. Alonso alongside. Gerard Arnorisa. Looks like Risa, and it is. He really let fly as well. But West Ham had plenty of bodies in the way. Plenty back there as covering defenders. That's a shove.
Well, he did really get hold of this, and Cisse knocked Benioun on the floor there to try and create the space for Risa to hit it through, but didn't hit the gap, and West Ham got a good block on it.
He was a scorer, of course, in the semi-final win over Chelsea, John Arnorisa. Crackers 2 against Portsmouth and Birmingham, where Liverpool scored 7. They did have a spell when they were really struggling to score goals of any kind, Liverpool, but in the end they've got 100 at the moment in competitive football this season. 17 in the FA Cup, including those 7. A record 7 away to Birmingham in the quarter-finals. It was humiliation for the Blues. Franceschi asking a little much here of Marlon Harewood. He was set for quite a battle against those 2 central defenders, Herpier and Carragher. One of the strongest partnerships in the business. He's here today, it's Sven-Göran Eriksson, having named his squad. So Trevor Brooking there in the front row. Guess who he wants to win today?
I wouldn't think Trevor will be biased at all, do you?
The man who stooped to head the winner in 1980 against Arsenal. The last time a team from outside the top division won the FA Cup.
I don't think there's any dispute in that offside. It's quite a familiar failing of Cisse over the season, getting himself, when he's up the front, getting himself in offside positions. And I'm sure that's an aspect of his play that if he does stay next year with Liverpool, that they'll be working on to try and improve.
Herpier, towering header by him, straight to Gabidon. West Ham's Player of the Year, Gabidon. And his team are pressing here with Harewood. Couldn't pull it back though. Benayoun was in the 6-yard box. Ashton over on the far side. Rio Coca was on his way up as well. It was all rather wasted by Harewood.
That was a lovely ball by Benayoun, but Harewood on his left foot. We know he scored a goal in the semi-final with his left foot, but it's certainly not his strongest, and that really was a poor attempt at trying to drive it across the 6-yard box.
That shocked a few West Ham fans when he did drive that one in with his left foot in the semi, but it was some finish.
I think it shocked himself, never mind the West Ham fans.
Herpier, now Alonso. So desperate to play today, having missed out on the Carling Cup final because of injury. I think that was an ankle problem as well. Peter Crouch. Krzyzewski was after him, snapping away at him. And regained possession for his team. Benayoun. It's too heavy though for Harewood. But they've done okay so far, West Ham. Liverpool may have the pedigree, they may have won 11 games on the bounce, but the Hammers have been meticulously prepared by Alan Pardew. They've had the kind of season which has already greatly exceeded expectations in many ways, and now they're in the mood for a bonus. Rio Coca on standby for the England squad for the World Cup finals. Big thrill for him. Now he wants the best birthday present of all tomorrow, by helping his team to win the FA Cup and indeed himself lifting the trophy.
He really has been a tremendous influence on West Ham. One so young, he plays the captain's role so well. He's a Mr. Motivator, has great belief in himself, but it's a total confidence. It's not an arrogance, and he really is a player who, in the future years, can be a massive influence, I would imagine, not only here but also in the England squad.
Finnan taking the throw for Liverpool. Here's Sami Herpier, who I imagine has been a little surprised to have featured so strongly, so prominently for Liverpool this season. Rafa Benitez had told him at the outset that he might not play too often. That has not been the case. He's been very much a fixture under the Spanish coach.
Well, I think that's been one of the reasons that Liverpool have been so tight at the back, is that the 4 players that played in front of Reina have been pretty settled, and therefore they've got to know each other's strengths and weaknesses so well, and are so difficult to break down.
Well, they've had 33 clean sheets this season, Liverpool. One more today will equal a club record. They'd hope to beat it, but have squandered 1 or 2 opportunities in recent matches, in particular conceding a late goal to Portsmouth in their final league game. That would have given them the chance today to beat the record. Cisse and Crouch up top here. It is Cisse. Gabidon getting in ahead though of Peter Crouch. Now Anton Ferdinand. Brother Rio, of course, was a loser last year with Manchester United here, when Arsenal beat them in the penalty shootout. There are some who say that in years to come, Anton will prove to be at least as good as his brother, if not better. Watch this space. Certainly had a good season for West Ham in the Premiership. Finnan. Looking for Crouch, who did seem to lean in then. Alan Wiley had a little look, gave himself a second or two just to make up his mind, and then did give the free kick.
He has a little wry smile there, Peter. He knew that he did climb all over the back of Scaloni.
He doesn't need to, does he?
No, he doesn't, no. But that's the ball they'll be trying. They'll try and get Peter on both full-backs and knock diagonal balls into that far post, because that's where he's at his best, knocking balls goalwards or back towards forwards, and the likes of Stevie Gerrard breaking into the box.
As I was saying earlier, something of a surprise that Scaloni is starting. He hasn't really settled, in truth, with West Ham. He's only played 13 times in the Premiership since coming on loan from Deportivo La Coruña in Spain. Benayoun. Now Scaloni has made a run down that right side. Will sink to by Ashton. Harewood wants it in the middle. Oh, it's an own goal! Enough Jamie Carragher, and West Ham have taken the lead. A sudden break, and Jamie Carragher, of all people, was in the wrong place at the right time as far as West Ham are concerned.
Well, look at this ball from Dean Ashton. That is a fantastic ball, it really is. He waited, Carragher had to play it because he wasn't sure Reina was going to get it. But this pass is inch perfect. Scaloni drives it in across the box there. Carragher has to go for it, and unfortunately for him, just with the outside, he misses it with his right foot, it hits his left foot and then goes in. But that goal is all down to Dean Ashton's superb through ball. It really was a tremendous pass.
Misery for Jamie Carragher, but elation for West Ham and their fans here. The goal coming just before the midway point in the first half. Harewood was certainly the target in the middle, and that ball that came across from Scaloni. But Carragher could only turn it into his own net.
I was only just thinking to myself as well, the game was going as was expected. Liverpool having loads of possession, but not really creating anything in that first 20 minutes. And of course, West Ham had one corner, I think, and had done actually nothing like that. Nothing, created absolutely nothing. Reina had hardly touched the ball. And of course, their first meaningful attack, they're in front.
The last own goal in the cup final, Des Walker for Nottingham Forest against your old club Tottenham, 1991.
So you're going to say Des O'Connor then for a minute?
So drama here in Cardiff. The underdogs, the dangerous underdogs, have scored first, and now Liverpool will have to come at them, as Gerrard is doing here. Edrington. Sissoko closing on him. He says no contact. I think the referee Alan White has concurred with that opinion. Touch and go. Didn't quite get there in truth. Sissoko.
Well, we talked about Scaloni possibly being a weak link. He's crossed the ball in there.
You said it, not me. I didn't say anything.
I think you agreed though. But I mean, it's a great ball in for the own goal, and we've just seen a fantastic tackle from him on Steve Gerrard when he's breaking through as well. So still a long way to go, but he's had a very positive start.
Yes, Cisse, did he handle that? Yep. Flags up. Well, it was a gamble to include Scaloni rather than Collins. That had been the expected decision, that Collins would have played alongside, in the centre of the defence there, and alongside Gabidon with Ferdinand at right back. So it was a gamble, but he's got the Midas touch at the moment, Alan Pardew. Rafa Benitez's team behind, and he might have underestimated the FA Cup and Liverpool passion for it in the past, but he doesn't now. Remember, he sent out that below-strength team in the third round last season at Burnley. They lost, and given the adverse reaction on Merseyside, and I think you take the whole of football really, I don't think he'll be doing that again in a hurry. That was an own goal too from Traore, who's among the subs for Liverpool today.
Well, what you do have to say, Peter, it's probably exactly what the game needed. What we all wanted was West Ham to go in front.
That's neutrals, yeah.
Yes, of course.
There's a few people in red out there who wouldn't agree with him.
But certainly, I mean, we expected a great game anyway, but this now will ensure that we do have a great game, I'm sure.
Konchesky, a West Ham fan as a youngster. You can imagine what it means to him to be playing in the final today. Man who maybe wasn't too far away from selection for England's World Cup squad, especially when Ashley Cole was out injured. Didn't quite make it in the end, Konchesky, but he's had a very good season for the Hammers. Since switching, of course, from Charlton. There's a great ball in for Scaloni. Really well spotted then by Dean Ashton. Watch Harewood now, darting into the middle. It was meant for him, but it found Carragher, and inadvertently he guided it into his own goal. And West Ham are in dreamland at the moment. Carragher. But no way, of course, can you write off Liverpool? Not the season they've been having, and the form they're in too. Those 11 straight wins behind them. Hetherington to fend off Steve Finnan. Gerrard chasing, closing down. He's such a talisman for Liverpool. Rio Coker. And Risa setting for the throw. Well, Pardew promised his team would be on the front foot, would be uninhibited, and we've got a hitter's chance, he says. Big boxing fan, Alan Pardew. Harewood, who looks like a boxer, he's certainly got the physique, but he ran out of pitch then.
Well, if anybody can get over a setback like that, it'll be Jamie Carragher. There's no stronger character in the game than him. Yes, his initial response will be disappointing, but he'll come back from that, and I'm sure he'll have, the rest of the game will be solid for him. In fact, he just stopped Harewood in his tracks there when he was in full flow, and that's not an easy thing to do, because Harewood is one of the quickest and strongest strikers in the Premiership at the moment.
But he will be hurting Jamie Carragher. Liverpool through and through, over a decade now as a professional up at Anfield. He and Gerrard really are the local heartbeat of the Liverpool team. Risa, unchallenged by Benayoun. Having said that, rather a hasty clearance then really from Risa. Benitez, who moved Carragher back into central defence. He had been playing at right back prior to that. It's been a big success. Hetherington teasing Hurpier. Oh, testing Reina, who lost it, and it's in! From Dean Ashton. Unbelievable! And West Ham are 2 goals up against Liverpool in the FA Cup final.
Well, it's amazing. It's the two players that have been talked about all week. Who would they play, would they not? The ball comes up. It's Ashton that flicks it on. Etherington there just turns Happier, tries a shot. That's a ball that Reina 9 times out of 10 gobbles up. Dean Ashton takes the chance, follows it in, and it's a simple tap in for him. But Ashton shot through legs, and Dean Ashton, well, what a contribution he's made to the game so far. Made the first goal, scored the second, and the player who right up to kick-off was touch and go whether he was going to play or not.
A real predator, such awareness in front of goal. He was alive there to the possibilities. Liverpool 2-0 down. We're nearly talking Istanbul again.
Well, it's going to take a lot now. Liverpool were certainly favourites at 1-0 down. I could see them getting back into it at 2-0. They have got a mountain to climb now, and they really are going to have to play out of their skin like they had to in Istanbul and show all that character to come back from this.
And away to my right, at the south end, the West Ham fans are going absolutely potty, and why not?
Well, they can't believe it. They were 5-1 against to win this game, and I bet there's a lot of West Ham fans to my right-hand side have had that bet as well.
Liverpool, the odds-on favourites, are in deep, deep trouble here. Amazingly, trailing by 2 goals to 0. Dean Ashton, we didn't really know until, I would think maybe yesterday at the earliest, whether he'd be playing or not today, after that hamstring injury sustained in the match at West Bromwich Albion recently. But he's been a really good signing for West Ham. They were very keen to get him out there. And another gamble. It's come off so far. No question about it. Harewood releasing Benayoun. And Liverpool are reeling here. Harewood. West Ham absolutely buoyant. 2 in the middle, including Ashton. No service though this time, as it's cut out by Carragher. And Liverpool haven't really got hold of this game yet. Crouch. Gerrard certainly won't take this lying down. Making a burst up front now. Here's Harry Kewell, who's not really got into it yet. Alonso. And Gerrard. Not too much he could do with that though. They are looking shocked and stunned, the team in red, and no wonder. Xabi Alonso on to Kuhl. Brought down then, was he by Fletcher? He was. Free kick to Liverpool. He says, look, I won it fairly. Not according to Alan Wiley, he didn't. Half an hour gone, and it's a scoreline that takes some believing. But his crotch! Offside. Flags up, down beneath me. Gerrard took that free kick very quickly. Almost caught West Ham out. The Crouch was offside.
Yeah, it was very, very close. It certainly was. Certainly that caught West Ham napping. They'd gone to sleep, and Gerrard saw that Crouch at that far post. But just and only just was Crouch offside there.
Crouch, who scored the winner, of course, against Manchester United. Got 2 as well against Birmingham in this season's competition. I thought for a moment there he brought his team back into this final. Ashton. I think he was backing it into Herpier. Here's Gerrard. Boy, do they need his inspiration now, his influence. Alonso. Now Finham and Gerrard. It's a lovely ball as well for Cisse! It's there this time.
Well, as they say, game on. That certainly was a great ball in from Finnan, and certainly as Cisse gets round the back of Solanko and knocks it in right. It's a great volley. He's still got a bit to do when it arrives at him, but gets the other side of Scaloni there. Scaloni doesn't know he's there, and it's a great volley from Cisse. Here we go. No chance for Hislop, but what a game we've got on our hands now.
A really emphatic finish there by the Frenchman. There are some doubts about whether he'll be staying on at Anfield. If he carries on like this, there won't be any doubt. 7 goals in his last 10 games now. He's ending the season with a flourish. He got both goals in the league win recently over West Ham, and he's pounced here now. And it really has set up the final. Every potential now to be an absolute corker. Reset. Sometimes the finals don't live up to expectations. I don't think this is going to be one of those. It can't be now.
No, we've already seen more in this opening 30-odd minutes than we actually saw in last year's cup final, so it's a tremendous game to be watching at the moment.
Finnan. Liverpool digging deep. That's Alonso. Cisse claiming he was pulled then by Scaloni. Referee Wiley was having none of it though.
And what Benitez has done in this last 10 minutes is pulled Harry Kuhl out of that wide area on the left and just brought him in behind the front 2 at the moment, and so they can try and get the ball into him, because he's not really had an influence on the game so far, but there's 1 or 2 holes that he might think he can get the ball and get at West Ham's back 4.
Interesting too, Ray, that Cisse was saying this week, I prefer to play down the centre. I don't have to think about it then. The ball just comes to me. I put it in the back of the net, and that's exactly what happened. Rather be down the middle than out wide. Well, at the moment, indeed, he has drifted out to that left side. Crouched down the middle with Kuhl just behind here, as you were saying. Gerrard, who's everywhere. Crouch. Up comes Finnan. Liverpool building with purpose again now. Sissoko. Ball juggling skills by him too, and real determination as well. Rio Coca. And West Ham here need to just batten down the hatches for a little bit. Take the sting out of Liverpool's riposte, which has already been a strong one. Carragher, no one more relieved than him to see Cisse's effort go in. On by Reese. Carragher. He's only ever scored 3 times for Liverpool. At the right end, anyway. Oh, it's breathtaking stuff at the moment. Really good finish that by Cisse. Broke away from his marker, away from Scaloni. He was guilty there of all ball watching, in truth, the Argentine. Gerrard. This is Sissoko. He's now a Mali international. He played at under 21 level for France, but under new regulations, he's able to play at full level for Mali. That's Herpier. And it's smuggled away by Benayoun. Defending not his strongest quality, but he did well enough on that occasion. Here's Alonso. Like a pace maybe at the moment. He's got such a wonderful range of passing, but now he's going to come scattering back. Harewood on to Rio Coca. Harewood's in the middle. Too long for him, but it's Matt Etherington now. And then Herpier retaining his composure. Harry Kewell. Risa to his left. Scaloni not really tight enough on Cisse at first. Risa again. Cisse is back on his feet. It's all gone askew for Liverpool. Franceschi on to Etherington. They are such an adventurous, positive team, West Ham. It's been their approach all season. Ashton lining up a strike. It was only just the wrong side of the post. Adventurous, positive, and then some.
Well, again, people talk about Dean Ashton, that he isn't the quickest in the world, but what a good football brain he's got. He just steers that ball away from Risa, gets it onto his favourite right side there, and just drags it just slightly wide of Rayner's right-hand post. But again, tremendous play from Dean Ashton.
And he was prolific in his early days, wasn't he, at Crewe? Not so effective really at Norwich, but certainly looking the part for West Ham. There's one spat over on the far side, Cisse and Scaloni. Not sure what that's all about. Alamani just telling them to calm down.
Well, I think Cisse wants to get on with the game. Scaloni obviously is trying to slow the game down to get to half-time, and Scaloni wasn't best pleased the way the ball was passed from Cisse to him.
Xabi Alonso, the Spanish international. Now it's Gerrard. 3 up for Liverpool in the box at the moment. It won't reach Peter Crouch though. There by Gabidon. He really has made the adjustment from Championship to Premiership so well a year ago. He was helping Cardiff to fight off relegation. Finnan wanting some movement, and he's found it here with Crouch. Good skill as well. But Gabidon was there. Now Alonso having to pick out Cisse. Snapshot on the turn. He's in the mood.
Well, the one thing you know with Cisse is that when the ball rounds in and around the box, he very rarely does he see anybody else. All he does is see the goal and can he score. And on that occasion, he wasn't going to have a second touch. He was always going to hit it that first time, particularly after he'd scored with the confidence he has after that first goal.
He has his critics, Djibril Cisse, but he's scored 19 times this season, including that one today, which really has brought this cup final to life. Wasn't bad till then either. Here's Gerrard trying to dance his way through and link up with Crouch. West Ham defending stubbornly enough. Cisse given away to Rio Coca. Marlon Harewood. It was not easy to brush aside. Sissoko and Cisse between them, just about managing to do that. Here's Alonso. They were 3-1 down against Luton in the third round. Liverpool bounced back from that. Crouch looking to attack it. Ferdinand made sure that he couldn't do so. Keeping a watchful eye there on the towering figure of Peter Crouch. Gerrard is taken quickly by Liverpool. This lot had to be on his guard then to fist it away. Sissoko. Crouch. A few West Ham hearts skipped a beat there, especially behind that goal. The referee, while he hadn't quite rightly saw nothing untoward. Carragher. Feeding Cisse. Again has wandered out to that left side. This could be dangerous now. There's Kuhl going in, then Gerrard. Good play though by Rio Coker. Chesky to Etherington. They certainly won't just sit back, West Ham. Far from it. It's not in their nature under Alan Pardew. Chesky. Good cushion headed down by Ashton to Benayoun. Didn't quite get hold of it though. Now Alonso. Gerrard with Reese. This first half has flown by. Just over 3 minutes to go past stoppages. Finnan. There's Gabidon sticking out a long leg there to deny Peter Crouch. Finnan. Now Harry Kuhl. It was going nowhere though. Rio Coker, very strong, very determined. He's got Scaloni free away to his right, ushering him in forward too, then Rio Coker. Benayoun. Fletcher, and that deeper anchor roll. Good spot as well from him to locate Etherington. Harewood making life awkward again for Jamie Carragher, which he's done throughout this first half really. The central defenders certainly haven't had the central strikers in their pockets. Not as yet. Konchesky. Good supporting play by him. Now Harewood. He was just slightly off balance though as he hit it.
That just shows, you know, West Ham have got no fear in this game at all, and I say they're being led magnificently by Rio Coker. They certainly are, and Harewood there takes a chance and mishits it totally, but certainly prepared to take the chance. Alan Pardew there making one or two little notes, just to maybe try and adjust one or two little things in the second half. They've got themselves in front, and it's a case of can they stay there or can they add to it. But I'm sure that Benitez will have a few words to say at half-time to make sure that Liverpool continue the pressure that they're starting to mount on West Ham.
There'll be 1 minute of time added on. Some say West Ham have lived too long on past memories, but this does seem to be a team for the future, and certainly for the present, for the future, a very solid future. Kuhl, Finnan, he needs to play well back there, doesn't he? Danny Gabidon, the Welshman, a former Cardiff player, really relishing here. Playing back in the capital. There's Sissoko trying to make his presence felt against Matt Etherington. And they will be enjoying what they have seen so far. So much optimism among the West Ham fans for all the odds stacked against them. But they had a 2-goal lead before Liverpool bounced back. Reply from Cisse, which really has set up the second half. No two ways about that. Ashton, who forced in to have a second. A busy run here. Couldn't beat them all though. Cisse, lovely control. Now is there the acceleration as well? Well, there was. Alan Wiley, good refereeing by him. They played the advantage. Not quite taken up though by Cisse. As it's gathered in by Shatter Hislop.
The official has indicated there will be 1 added minute at the end of the first half.
He was on the bench in the late 90s at Newcastle. We're in a couple of finals. He thought his chances of starting one had gone, long since gone. And then came the call to rejoin West Ham. It's his second spell with them. And an injury to Roy Carroll at the start of the year gave him his chance in the West Ham first team, and he hasn't really looked back from there. Been very reliable between the posts. Ferdinand. This is his 100th game for the Hammers. Etherington turning away from Sissoko. Fletcher. They've got the width here with Marlon Harewood. Tyresa. Well, a fabulous, entertaining first half. Liverpool 2 down, the own goal from Jamie Carragher, then Dean Ashton scrambling in the second. But all credit to Liverpool, they have come back so well. Djibril Cissé, and it really has all the makings of a wonderful second half. As we see again here, the goals, that was Carragher.
Please welcome back to the pitch the band of the Corps of Royal
And then, well, a bit of a fumble there by Rayner. Waiting to pounce was Dean Ashton, but then that excellent finish from Djibril Cissé to give us a half-time scoreline of Liverpool 1, West Ham 2. It has been an outstanding season for the Hammers, 9th place on their return to the Premiership. And now this FA Cup final. No wonder the fans who a year ago, remember, were calling for Alan Pardew's head, no wonder they've had a bit of a rethink.
No, he's done an incredible job and he's made some excellent signings. You know, Gabbiadon has done a tremendous job at the back for West Ham alongside young Anton Ferdinand. A lot of people looked at Gabbiadon and thought, could he actually play at the top level? Well, he's proved he can, and he can prove that he's better than just coping with it. He's an excellent centre-back. Rio Coker is a bundle of energy in the middle of the field there. And of course, their latest signing, Dean Ashton, what a game he's had so far. And, you know, to come from Championship football into this level in a short space of time, perform like he has done on this big stage so far, is incredible.
Just looking at Djibril Cissé's boots, I think he had odd ones on in the first half. I suppose that's what you call being laid back. Some might say ill-prepared. Etherington, are they prepared at the back for Harewood's arriving on the scene? Then Benayoun as well! Almost skip free. And Reina to the rescue there for Liverpool, who were totally stretched and caught out by the speed of that incisive break by West Ham. That's what they're all about. High tempo and a really adventurous approach.
Well, it was that man Dean Ashton that created it again, and really Harewood should have scored.
It was indeed an escape then for Liverpool, whose minds, it seemed, were still in the dressing room. Golden opportunity then for Marlon Harewood to have restored his team's 2-goal cushion.
Well, it really was, and even Benayoun in the end, but could have scored, but there was an excellent block by Pepe Reina, but certainly it was an incisive ball by Dean Ashton again, inside Finnan, and Etherington just had too much pace for him.
Risa. Now Gerrard, on to Cissé. Play on, says Alan Wiley. Cissé's ball in for Alonso! And it's spun away off Ferdinand. Behind for the corner. Could have been more serious then for West Ham. Just showing that Morientes is coming on for Harry Kewell. Kewell is struggling with an injury.
Well, to be fair, towards the back end of the first half, he did start stretching his groin off as though he might have a little niggle there. That's obviously got worse, and that's why the change is occurring.
That was Peter Crouch going in to no avail. I think we're going to see the switch in a moment or two. As we were saying at the start, it was a toss-up really between Morientes and Cissé as to which of them would start. Well, now they are both going to be on. There's the save again from Reina.
Yeah, when you see that save again by Reina, it was 2 saves really. When Harewood had the first shot, Reina just stuck out his right foot and managed to make the save, and then he got back and made another good block from Benayoun as well. So really 2 excellent saves. If that had gone in at the start of the second half, I'm not sure that Liverpool would have come back from it. But a sad Harry Kewell going down the tunnel there, injured yet again, and Morientes now on the field.
There's a groin injury. Confirmation of that. Here's Crouch looking for Morientes maybe. Morientes, a player who really doesn't feel he's done himself justice since coming to Anfield. Now's his chance on the big stage, and he says, I am a big stage player, a big game player. Here he is now. No doubt he can be a deadly finisher. He hasn't really brought that goal-scoring prowess to Merseyside. Risa, not one of his better efforts.
No, we've seen him score from there before. He can strike it from there, but on this occasion he's cut right across the ball, and absolutely no threat to Xhaka Hislop's goal at all.
Benitez, sorry, just to interrupt there, just talking about Morientes. I mean, he has kept faith in him, hasn't he? But you do wonder how much longer he will be at Liverpool if he doesn't begin to show the form he is capable of. He says himself, I'm only halfway through the contract. It's only job half done by me. Not really shot though, is he?
No, I would have thought that he's honest enough to know that he hasn't played, and he thinks he's going to see out his contract and hopefully improve in next season. But Liverpool are moving forward at such a pace that I would think that certainly a striker's position, either Morientes or maybe Cissé, those positions might be under threat next season if Benitez can get the right people in to replace them.
There's talk of 6 newcomers at least. Rafa has penciled in, we shall see. Herpia. Meantime, they have a job to do here. Risa making the run, Benayoun tracking back. There is such a spirit about this West Ham team. In terms of the scoreline, they still have the edge over Liverpool, but I'm sure they're going to have a lot of defending to do to repel them in this second half. Risa digging in the cross. It's dealt with though by Anton Ferdinand, then Alonso to Gerrard. Always that little buzz of anticipation, expectation when he's on the ball. Finnan towards Morientes. Gabidon was there. Now Cisse. I just thought about a shot, but it was a long way out. Alonso, who hasn't scored since his double strike against Luton in the third round. Crouch, flags up. Oof, they wouldn't have counted. Certainly thumped in though.
What a strike that was, yes, definitely offside. It was a lovely work move by Liverpool, a tremendous strike from Steven Gerrard, but certainly linesman correct again, or assistant referee correct again, and two players in offside positions.
Just a little message there, I think, for West Ham. I don't like the position my team are in at the moment. He means business, Steven Gerrard. The man who makes Liverpool tick. Fletcher. This is Etherington. Now Gabidon. And here's his central defensive partner Ferdinand. Asking a lot though really of Ashton, with Finnan quite tight on him. Konchesky. He has played a little win in himself. He hasn't gone surging forward too often in this game. He has defensive duties. Gerrard has now wandered out to the right side again. Alonso looking for him. But it was ambitious from Alonso. For all his passing expertise. Nothing to disturb 37-year-old Shaka Hislop in that West Ham goal. Harewood making a nuisance of himself, but no more than that really. Tidying up his Carragher. Still plenty of time for Liverpool to transform this final. It really has been edge of your sheet stuff. Way by Gabidon. Alonso. Now it's Carragher. Finnan is through over on the far side. Here's Herpia. He got the other way instead with Reset. Patient build up here by Liverpool as West Ham endeavour to keep their shape and keep them at bay. Carragher on to Reset. Morientes is through the middle, so is Peter Crouch, and that's a free kick. We really haven't had that many stoppages though. The game really has flowed, isn't it, Ray?
No, it has. The stats at half-time showed that the very few fouls, only one offside in the game. It's been a very open game, and there's been some good football played.
Here's Gerrard. His route to goal was blocked for a moment anyway. Goes Crouch. In comes Gerrard! It certainly wasn't blocked the second time, and they are back on level terms in this thrilling cup final. 2-2.
Well, wouldn't you know it if anybody was going to score, right from the kick-off. Gerrard has shown his intention. Lovely ball in. Crouch at the far post there, knocks it back. And there's Gerrard, unmarked. Midfield, West Ham midfields don't follow his run in. And it just bounces up from Lovely. Watch him appear in the picture there. As he comes in, no West Ham midfield player near him. Carl Fletcher hasn't followed his run. Bounces up Lovely for him. Shaka Hislop, no chance whatsoever.
He is a leader. Boy, is he a leader. Now it's a different game. On 54 minutes, Steven Gerrard, goal number 22 for him this season. A midfielder, of course, by trade, but he's so much more than that. He rattled it home there, no chance whatsoever for Shaka Hislop, and suddenly the whole mood has changed. Here's Peter Crouch. And Liverpool now firing on all cylinders, inspired by who else? Steven Gerrard. His manager says he ought to get 25 goals this season. That's how much he rates it and how highly he rates his goal-scoring potential. Goodness me, really thumped that home then, Gerrard.
But let's not take away what Peter Crouch did as well. Peter pulled to that far post. He could have headed it anywhere, but he saw Gerrard making the run, just knocks it down into his path perfectly, and Gerrard just did not the simple task, but certainly finished it off superbly.
And now we shall see what the Hammers are made of. Such a test of this man's character, his team's character. 2 goals up, they've blown that, but far from out of this final, the way that they've been playing. But when Gerrard is in this kind of mood, he's pretty much unstoppable. And it begs the question, Ray, is this the answer for the World Cup? If Rooney isn't fit, do we play Michael Owen with Gerrard there just behind? It's been suggested.
Well, there's been lots of things suggested, and that's obviously an option open to Sven when he makes his decision who does play. But, you know, he's such a versatile player. He can play central midfield. He can be dangerous coming in from that right-hand side, as he is playing this second half. He finds spaces. He can also play behind a sole striker, so there are lots of options that are open for Sven.
Alonso, here's Crouch, Gabidon, standing his ground and releasing Benayoun, who's got pace. Hard to get away from Sissoko, but he's managed it. Now it's Rio Coca. He can't make those luck-busting runs from midfield. It's an open game, and it's a wonderful advertisement for English football. Just as we were hoping this showpiece occasion would be. Will it repetite our appetites for the World Cup? It certainly has done so thus far anyway. And surely can only get better. Risa. Cisse, his yellow boots up top. Couldn't latch onto it this time. It was his goal that breathed fresh life into Liverpool. And now, back on level terms, sacks to Steven Gerrard. Here's Richter. Teasing Finnan, they're getting no real change out of it.
There's been a nice little battle out there on that left-hand side. Finnan there and Etherington. Etherington prepared to run at Finnan on every opportunity. Prepared to have it into his feet or played in behind Finnan. And it's a part of an area of the field where maybe the game might be decided, because Etherington has been the one who has caused problems down that left-hand side and got balls into Ashton.
They've gone a little quiet away to my right. The West Ham men, those who have come down from Merseyside, are certainly making themselves heard now. Morientes couldn't get clear though of Benayoun. This is Ferdinand. Well, not too many would have written Liverpool off even at 2-0, and now we can see why. The 125th FA Cup final is turning into a pulsating one. Peter Crouch. In goes Fletcher, then Rio Coca. Worked it on smoothly as well. But Ashton made no headway. Here's Crouch, using his strength as well to lay it off then to Gerrard. Morientes on the scene. And Ferdinand was composed back there for West Ham. Now Scaloni on to Fletcher. What an end to the season for him. The campaign he began, remember, out on loan to Watford. And was giving a lot of thought to his future. Didn't think he had one really with West Ham. Benayoun almost threaded that in for Etherington. Peter Crouch. Back comes Kaczynski though to break it up. Good defending by him. To catch Fender on Eriksson's eye today. Kaczynski, a view to the future. It's Ashton who went in too strongly then on Finnan, and I think it's going to be caution for that. First yellow card of the game, which has certainly been sportingly contested.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit harsh. You know, this is the first yellow card in the game, and yes, it was a foul, but it wasn't anything malicious. He just got there as quickly as he could, basically. And did catch him, but not in any malicious intent, and therefore I think it was a little bit harsh.
Alonso to Jamie Carragher. He's moved Brighton considerably for that second goal. And then conceded an own goal himself. Cisse. Benayoun read his intentions though and read them quicker. And his opposite man there, Risa. Here's Konchesky. Now Etherington. He has had a chance to show what he can do in the Premiership with West Ham this season. Can really make a breakthrough with Tottenham. Although he played over 50 times for them. It's with the Hammers that we've seen what he can do. Rio Coker. Now Ashton. You have two in the box to aim for. Although he couldn't deliver, it will be a corner. Etherington and Benayoun coming across to sort it out between them as Anton Ferdinand, who's never scored an FA Cup goal, arrives in the middle to join the likes of Harewood. Scaloni's up there as well. Gavidon has stayed well back. Ferdinand going to that near post. Couldn't quite get a connection though. And out come Liverpool now on the counter raid. Just past the hour mark. Cisse. Good challenge though by Gavidon. He looks a class act, this fellow. Really has made the transition from Championship football to Premiership football in style.
Yes, he has that wonderful attribute of pace. And if you've got that at the top level, it does give you a great chance.
Really laid back character. A very determined defender. He's underlined today. Crouch. Couldn't affect on Ferdinand though. Ashton. And he was tripped in by Carragher. And that may well be a yellow card for him. It is. Not one of his better days so far. Having cautioned Ashton for the earlier offence, I think maybe he felt there Carragher's name had to go in the book as well.
And that tends to happen a lot in the game. The referees don't book anybody in the first half for little things, and then they think they've got licence to actually go and book for anything in the second half.
Yossi Benayoun. So exciting for West Ham this season. Now Konchesky lending his support down the left. Oh, it's in! Paul Konchesky has conjured up an incredible goal. Did he mean it? Was it a cross? Was it a shot? He doesn't care right now. It's a goal for West Ham and they are back in front in this extraordinary, exhilarating final.
Well, I can't believe he meant that. I think he was aiming for Harewood, who was peeling off to the far post. But it caught Rayner again. You see Harewood pulling off to the far post. I'm sure that's where he's looking. He's miscued it slightly. Rayner's off his line. He can't adjust his feet quickly enough. And we see the finish in the back of the net. I think he looks up there, looks at Harewood, and it comes off the outside of his foot. And Rayner is totally in the wrong position and can't readjust.
Completely wrong-footed then. Pepe Rayner had to Alan Pardew's delight. Not to mention the delight of the 23,000 or so West Ham fans back behind the goal over on that far side. Konchesky has scored his first ever FA Cup goal. And it really has now set up a thrilling finale to the game. Can Liverpool come back again? You bet they can. Carragher. Such a shock to the system though for the Reds, who must have thought they were getting up top. I must have thought West Ham were there for the taking. Far from it. That is the spirit, that is the character I was referring to earlier, that West Ham needed to show. And they most certainly have, in the most emphatic fashion. Paul Konchesky. A man who grew up as a Hammers fan as a boy. Went to the semi-final back in '91 as a youngster. That was a miserable day there. This one may not be. Certainly isn't at the moment. Whether he meant it or not. Very much a to a fixture in the West Ham team. He only missed one Premier League game all season, and that was against Liverpool. Recent defeat at Upton Park. Maybe they were holding him back, keeping him back. There's no holding back Benayoun at the moment. Now it's Ashton. We've got plenty up here. Etherington. And Benayoun just checked then in his stride, didn't go on. And I think Etherington maybe thought he had. Stay with it for a moment, Ray. And it might just be time for you to get a verdict. Let's all go here. Harewood, he's offside. Ashton's in the middle, so was Benayoun. And Benayoun just wheeled away then in frustration, but there was no service. Now it's Liverpool on the rebound. Scaloni racing clear for West Ham. It's so open now. Marlon Harewood. West Ham revitalised by Konchesky's goal. Benayoun. Fouled by Alonso.
I think Alonso wants to come off. I think that he knows that enough is enough. He's not right. He's certainly signalling to the bench that he wants to come off. And certainly now, I think they were ready to make a change anyway. Whether it was Alonso or not, I'm not sure. But
I think it was Crouch. I think it was Crouch who was going off.
Well, certainly Alonso wants to come off and is coming off.
And it's young Kroenke who's replacing him. There's been a rethink over there. Alonso, who remember, had come into the final with a damaged hamstring, a damaged ankle rather. And he's been replaced by Kroenke, who is a defender by trade.
Well, what that'll do is Kroenke will come on and play on the right-hand side, and Gerrard will go in the middle of the field now with Sissoko. So obviously Alonso felt something and thought this is not the sort of game to be going on and carrying an injury.
Sissoko. This is Finnan. Now Gerrard. Sissoko. Finnan. Kroenke, the Dutchman, is further forward over on that right side. In goes Morientes. Beaten in the air though by Anton Ferdinand. Harewood. Hero of the semi-final. We've got plenty of heroes today. Benayoun. That'll be Reyners. He's getting more and more influential as this game goes on. Benayoun. Real danger with those searching runs. Gabidon. Again, a tower of strength back there for West Ham. Reset. Liverpool really have a match on their hands. Fletcher to Benayoun. As Liverpool begin to gamble, there will be a gap or two for them to exploit the hammers. Etherington. Konchesky, an unlikely goal scorer. Let's put his team back in front in this memorable final. Konchesky in trouble here against Kroenke. Back to the rescue, Danny Gabidon. What a game he's having back there. Konchesky. Should be Carragher's. And then Finnan. West Ham about to make a change over on that far side.
Well, I think to be fair, Fraser, they've been trying to make a change for about 5 minutes and the ball just won't go out of play. It's that sort of game.
It'll be Zamora for Ashton. That's what we're hearing anyway.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me. No, Ashton was a doubt. He's done tremendous for 60-odd minutes. He's bound to be feeling the pace of this game because it is being played at a fast and hectic pace.
Rio Coca! And suddenly Liverpool were on the back foot again there. Now here is the change. And you can imagine the kind of reception that Dean Ashton is going to receive from the West Ham fans. They'll know all about the injury. They know there's no other reason that he's giving way here. As we see again the effort from Konchesky that, well, completely caught out Jose Pepe Reina. Ashton, scorer of West Ham's second goal. They doubled their money then. Back came Liverpool to 2-2. But then Konchesky's strike has given them the advantage again. And it's Bobby Zamora, who a year ago scored the winner, of course, in the Championship playoff final against Preston, who is now on in his place. Toss up between him and Teddy Sheringham, really. Zamora has first stabbed in, and Haman is on for Liverpool.
Well, it's another tactical change yet again. It now means that Gerrard looks like he's going to play in behind the front two and let Haman and Sissoko hold in the middle of the field and just give Gerrard really the freedom of the park.
Haman on for Crouch. Gerrard. This is Finnan. Now Haman, the German international, to Steven Gerrard. Playing his way forward again. Oh, Morientes. Just a sniff of a chance there for the Spaniard. But West Ham shut that door very quickly, and a lovely balancing act by Alan Pardew, who controlled the ball. I'm not sure if you saw it over on the far side. Watching every moment of this, especially with his team having this 3-2 advantage over Liverpool. Who would have thought it? The answer to that is, I suppose, every West Ham fan would have thought it. They believe in their team. Haman. Run by Finnan to Kropka. Being policed here by Konchesky. Haman. Davidon. Dano. Cool head back there for West Ham. Ronaldo was a winner in 2001. When Liverpool came from behind, remember, soloed on against Arsenal. That double strike from Michael Owen. This is Gerrard. Morientes trying to tee it up then for Kropka. Herpier. Now Gerrard. In for Haman. Jordan Arisa. West Ham being pressed back here. All back defending. Everyone being behind the ball there. Here's Gerrard. Again, they're very solid defensively. That was Rio Coca this time. Gerrard probing again. Too long for Morientes. And Cisse couldn't get there either. West Ham alert and aware at the back. But it's a Liverpool throw. And they are asking a few questions now. The team in red. Way by Antoine Ferdinand. Harewood. Haman was after him. This is Carragher. Heading towards the last quarter of an hour now of this gripping final. You certainly feel there's still more to come yet, especially where Liverpool are concerned.
Well, you can't really see the rest of the game going without Liverpool creating another clear-cut opportunity somewhere along the line. And it's just a case of whether they can take it or not.
Davidon under pressure from Kropka. In goes Finnan. And respite. And a bit of breathing space here for West Ham. It's all about possession at the moment for this man's team. But they are trailing. And he does not look too happy about it. But he's certainly taking nothing for granted. No foregone conclusion, he says, before the game got underway. But deep down, I'm sure he would have thought, look, we're going to win this today. The hottest of favourites. But maybe they reckon without the spirit and determination of this West Ham team. But here's Gerrard now. In for Haman. Gerrard again. It's Edrington back defending this time. Then Konchesky. Nobody upfield for the Hammers. And Benitez's control not as good as Pardew's. But he's going to see the funny side of it at the moment. Pierre on to Risa. It's too long for Cronkap, but Finnan's behind him. Gerrard. Always involved, always looking for the ball. Cronkap. That was Gabidon stretching to clear, but only as far as Gerrard. Switched on now then to Haman at Risa. You know what he can do from long range, but not this time.
It was very difficult for him then to actually get the shot on target. It was right underneath his feet there. Tried to dig it out, but couldn't keep it down. And obviously Pardew now is looking to bring on Daly to try and maybe stem what's Liverpool's happened. I mean, Carl Fletcher coming off now, I think, and certainly Carl Fletcher's done really well for him, holding in the middle of the field. Maybe should have done better with Gerrard's goal, followed him into the box, but apart from that, he's done an excellent job, and obviously Daly's now being brought on to work alongside Rio Coker and make sure that they hold on to this goal advantage they've got.
The Scottish international, Christian Daly, versatile, he can slot into any one of a number of roles. He'll be at midfield. They hope to keep things tight for West Ham. But the Irons are under fire here. Cisse, it's only partially cleared as far as Sissoko. Was looked by Benayoun. Risa. Now Haman. Now Finnan to bend this one in. And there yet again is Gabidon. So much has been soaked up by West Ham around him. Sissoko. Risa.
Well, Alan Pardew now has obviously gone, right, we're going to hang on to what we hold, because he's withdrawn Harewood out the front, he's put him on the right-hand side, they've left Zamora up the field on his own, they're playing 4-5-1, and they're saying to Liverpool, OK, can you actually score against us, because we don't think you're capable of it, and we're going to just shut up shop and win this game 3-2.
Harewood, it might be against his natural instinct, Alan Pardew, but you can't blame him indeed now for trying to hold on to this. Nine goals in the 5 previous finals, 5 today already, and who's to say there won't be more? Haman for Liverpool. The last man to score at the old Wembley against England, of course, for Germany. Sissoko. And Cisse couldn't get it under control. Frustration again for Liverpool. Only just over 10 minutes now remaining. Scaloni. And Daly. There's the Argentine, Scaloni again. He's done okay. Harewood. Beaten to it though by Risa. Scaloni. Hoisting it forward in search of Bobby Zamora. Now it's Benayoun. Just got forward so quickly in support of the front players. Zamora will be fresher than most. The West Ham fan, all his life, Bobby Zamora. They'll be relished just being involved in this final, but it will mean so much more if they can actually win it. Harewood, who's proved to be such a good signing for them. Really made his mark in the Premiership. There were many who doubted he could do that. 16 goals from Harewood in all competitions this season. 14 of those have come in the top flight. That's Finnan to clear. Daly in ahead of Morientes. Haman to Carragher. Now it's Risa. Sissoko, and straight into Rio Coker. That linchpin in midfield for West Ham. Is he going to be the youngest ever captain to lift the trophy? Or will Liverpool strike back again to ruin their day? Cisse on to Risa. Cisse again. And he's got wide from Morientes.
You just feel at this moment that Liverpool are starting to run out of ideas. They're having a lot of possession, playing in front of West Ham's middle five, but not really creating anything, and in the end just having to hit balls into the box, hoping that the likes of Morientes or Cisse gets on the end of it, or maybe knocks one down for an oncoming Gerrard. But in terms of opening up West Ham, certainly at the moment, West Ham must be confident that actually things are going very, very well for them.
But it's going to be a nerve-wracking last 10 minutes. Sissoko in a hurry. Kropka. Too much of a hurry. Alan Wiley pulling play back. Hamann. Now Steven Gerrard. You can imagine what he'll be thinking right now. Having got his team level, they are behind again. And still have it all to do. Gerrard directing operations, being urged on by those Liverpool fans behind the corner flag there. Anxious faces among them now. Gerrard will take it. Carragher's on the near post. That was Morientes. There's certainly no slouch in the air. But got his bearings wrong again. Maybe went up too soon, did he? I would have thought.
Yes, I think he was actually probably just starting to come down as he headed it, and therefore off the top of his head and high, wide and handsome. And that's been disappointing for Morientes, because obviously the previous clubs he's been at, he has been tremendous in the air and has scored many, many headed goals. But just at the moment, you know, we don't see in the Morientes we've seen over a very, very successful career that he's had.
Liverpool may have done the double over West Ham in the Premiership, but it's the Hammers who have the edge at the moment in the Cup final. Risa to Sami Hyypiä. Now it's Carragher. Again, everyone on the retreat for West Ham, trying to keep them out. In comes Hamann again. Morientes. Gerrard struggling to get it under control. Kropka, but out comes Benayoun on the counter raid here. He's got Etherington free to his left. Zamora's gone down the middle. Etherington's cross. Oh! Reina just slipped there on the greasy surface. Lost his balance, but in the end it wasn't costly.
Well, as West Ham have the ball here, the worrying thing at the moment is that down the far end of the pitch, Gerrard is still, don't know if it's cramp, don't know if it's a calf muscle that's gone, but certainly he's got a little bit of a problem at the moment. It looks like he's trying to move again, but he's not moving very well at all.
Risa injured below us, but it's Gerrard at the other end of the field, as you can see here, who is also in distress. Wild horses, though, I would think, will not drag him off. Not now, not with his team in danger of losing this cup final. Something which they wouldn't have said publicly, but I'm sure would have thought was unthinkable. Teddy Sheringham is about to make his entrance. 40 years and 41 days. The oldest FA Cup finalist for 60 years. And it's Matt Etherington, one of those who remember has been doubtful for the game because of injury, who is going to be sacrificed for the last few minutes. Teddy Sheringham, an FA Cup winner with Manchester United, of course, in the treble year of 1999. He went on as a sub and scored soon after being introduced on that occasion. Can he make an impact again here? Great moment for him.
It certainly is, and one that he thoroughly deserves. To play at this level at that age is incredible. To play in the position he plays as well, you've got to look after yourself, you've got to know about the game, and he's done both of those things, and it's been a tremendous advert for the game of football, and one that players should look up to see how to look after yourself.
There is hope for you yet.
Probably not.
Here is Sheringham now. All he'll be thinking about is his team defending this slender lead for the remaining minutes.
Well, he'll just play in the centre of the field there. Benyuin will go out on that left-hand side, Phil Etherington's spot, and they'll still continue with a 5 in the middle of the field. But Teddy will be the one that will be playing more central and probably just slightly in advance of Daly and Rio Coca.
Herpia, Teresa. Sheringham was such a clever player. And they need that expertise, that experience, that guile now. I hope anyway, just to see them through, ease them through. 4 minutes plus stoppages. Here's Steve Finnan. Liverpool certainly haven't finished yet. Just as they hadn't in Istanbul in the Champions League final. That's Gerrard. Just as they hadn't against Luton in the third round when they were 3-1 down and 1-5-3. You don't write them off. And that's handball by Sheringham.
Yeah, and I think it's right as well. I think that when the ball bounced up, it was possibly unintentional, but it certainly bounced up and hit his hand. He did gain advantage from it.
I didn't send you on to do that, says Alan Pardew. Gerrard, who seems to have run off that injury.
Well, the way he stretched off, I think it certainly was cramp. You know, he stretched off, and it's not surprising because he has covered some miles this afternoon.
Literally. Hamann is there, Gerrard is there. Hislop cutting a worried figure on his goal line, hoping they've got it right in front of him. Here's Gerrard. I think he's claiming a corner somehow, but it certainly wasn't. Goal kick and that huge roar of relief from the West Ham fans. Sensing this might yet be their day. Alan Pardew gesturing to them over on the far side. Keep it going, get behind us. Let's hear the Hammers roar. While the Liverpool fans do their best to respond and lift their team. There is still time to save it. Whatever the outcome, it's been a fantastic day, a fantastic match, and a wonderful atmosphere. Two clubs who could have filled the stadium on their own, let alone leading the opposition. That's how much interest there was in this game, and there is of course around the world, with hundreds of countries tuning in to this showpiece occasion, which had certainly lived up to expectations. Not his, maybe. Not yet. Herpia launching it long towards Morientes. Kromkamp got in there ahead of Konchesky. Scaloni under pressure from Cisse. Scaloni again. There's an injury to Cisse, which is why sportingly he played it out. There will be 4 extra minutes after the 90, maybe more than that now.
It's amazing, actually. There's quite a few players that are actually struggling with cramp here, and it's I suppose that just shows the pace and the intensity the game's been played at. It's been so open, and there's so much of the game is played at full pace that a number of players have struggled with cramp, and I have to say it's a long time since I've seen so many players go down with cramp in an FA Cup final. We used to see it at Wembley many years ago, but certainly here I haven't seen that before. But that, again, shows what sort of game it's been.
As you say, it has been so open between these two teams. They've gone for it right from the off. And maybe, as we were saying, it's what the game needed was for West Ham to score first, and they did it once, and then they did it again. But back came Liverpool. This man getting goal number 2 after Cisse's earlier strike. But is that comeback going to be in vain? Paul Konchesky with the 3rd goal for West Ham. Cisse is back on the field now. They're back to full strength, Liverpool. And back on West Ham throats again. That's Risa, tossed it towards Morientes. And then Gerrard! Oh, goodness me! What a strike from Steven Gerrard. I told you, don't write them off.
Well, That's this game has had absolutely everything.
Captain Fantastic or what?
Oh, what a strike. I mean, 5 minutes before he was hobbling, he was struggling with cramp, and it just dropped to him, and he's obviously made his mind up. Right, this is going in the net or it's going in the stand. I'm just giving it everything I've got left. And he struck it perfectly. Hislop, no chance. He's 35 yards out. It's flown in that back corner. What a strike. And I just don't know what else can happen in this game now, because we've seen it all.
There is so little more you can say about that. It was an absolute pile driver from the man many feel is the best midfielder in the world, and you can hardly dispute that, argue with that on this evidence. He has dragged his team single-handedly back into this game yet again. Sheringham. Free kick to West Ham, just outside the box, conceded by Herpia. I tell you what though, Roy, I won't mind extra time.
Well, never mind the players, will we last extra time?
I should need to lie down first and a cup of tea. We are now into stoppage time, 4 minutes at least. Sheringham is there. Benayoun is there. Kaczewski is there. He can't do it again, surely. In this game, anything might happen. Here is Kaczewski! Smothered by Rayner.
Well, Rayner has not exactly had a game to remember. You know, he's had a couple of things to do with a couple of the goals, and that was one he had to hold on to, because Teddy Sheringham was right on the end of it.
Here comes Risa for Liverpool. Kroenkamp back in for Morientes. Sissoko. A final flourish now from Liverpool. Steve Finnan. And it's gathered in by a very relieved Shaka Hislop. Bowled out to Harewood. What a game. Benayoun. You wouldn't want to miss this one for the world. It has lived up to every expectation. Benayoun, who's been grounded here. Just listen to the noise now around the Millennium Stadium. This magnificent arena. It's the best final for Dockey's years. Harewood. Now Zamora. Take a breath, Ray.
Well, I'm just looking at play. Steve Finnan is struggling with a groin injury as well. He's been stretching over the far side. He's holding his left groin there. He's not moving well at all, so there's a problem there as well, which, you know...
I'd keep him out there on one leg. Half a leg. Hamann. He is absolutely incredible, Steven Gerrard. Kroenkamp.
Ladies and gentlemen,
amazing.
Full time.
3-3. Kaczewski thought he'd won it for West Ham. But back came Steven Gerrard with that awesome strike. Just look at this.
FA Cup will be decided by penalty kicks.
Well, how does it go from here? That's what he's wondering. Must have thought his team were going to do it at that stage, but is that now a really huge psychological blow, Ray, or what?
Well, certainly it was. I'm sure when he put Teddy Sheringham on with what 10 minutes to go, 8 minutes to go, that he wasn't expecting Teddy to have to play extra time as well. But it's happened, and it's now, you know, this is where the managers earn their money in terms of what they're going to say to those respective 11 players to get them through this last 30 minutes and make sure that one of them comes out winners, or we go to the penalty situation that we had last year.
Liverpool 3, West Ham 3, it's all down to extra time. sure I can take all this, you know, I'm on tablets. It's been exhilarating stuff. And there's more to come. No question about that. I suppose we should come to expect goals from Liverpool in finals in their last 3 now. 17 goals have been produced, 5 against Chelsea in the League Cup final, 6 of course in Istanbul, that thriller with Milan, and now 6 again today. And it really would take a brave man to forecast which way it's going to go from here, but I have one alongside me, Ray Clements. I'll get his opinion in a moment, but here's Harewood looking to release Bobby Zamora. How's it going to go, Ray?
Well, you would imagine at the start of this second half that Liverpool should be in the ascendancy, because they've got out of jail with an incredible goal from Steven Gerrard, and therefore they should be very, very upbeat going into this. But you can't, dispel West Ham. They've got tremendous character. They've talked all week about the character and the spirit within inside that squad. They've shown it all afternoon, and who's to say they won't come back again? I think it's still so hard to predict. I think that Liverpool should go on from here, but West Ham, you can't write them off, because they've done so well so far in this game.
Morientes. West Ham have never beaten Liverpool in the FA Cup. Is this finally going to be their day? Sissoko. Away by Herpier. Sissoko was manhandled there, the play going on. So much incident, so much to talk about, and he thought his team had done it. Only minutes away from winning the FA Cup for the first time since 1980, when Trevor Brooking bent low to head home the winner against Arsenal. Herpier. This is Kropka, one of the Liverpool subs today. Benayoun, still full of running. He's shown such energy, such enterprise too. Sheringham used his experience there to catch the referee's eye, but he wasn't interested, Alan Wiley. And I think the referee will be feeling the pace of this.
He won't be the only one. I think we're feeling a bit of the pace up here, but I'm still worried about Finnan in this right back spot. He's not moving very well at all. He keeps stretching off. If West Ham can get somebody having a real go at him, I think they can get at him.
Zamora. That's a chuck surely by Benayoun. Will be a free kick to Liverpool. I suppose in this extraordinary game you certainly wouldn't rule out Teddy Sheringham scoring and becoming the oldest ever scorer in an FA Cup final. It's been that sort of afternoon. And you certainly wouldn't rule out either a Steven Gerrard hat-trick. This is his free kick. Morientes was shaping up there for a strike on goal. Sissoko. Herpier, who stayed up there. Way by Kotcheski. The last time they met at the FA Cup was way back in 1976. And you were in goal for Liverpool that day, apparently. Is that right?
I was, yes. It was a third round, if I remember rightly, and we did win that 2-0 with goals from Keegan and Toshak, I think it was. But just so the memory's still there, I think.
Ray, of course, played in 6 FA Cup finals. I've got a list here, actually, the people that scored past you. It's a very long list. There are pages of it. Sheringham. Zamora. There's a clash in the box, but the decision has gone Liverpool's way.
And now Carragher's gone down with cramp now, and again you don't find a fitter person than Carragher, and even it's very rare you see defenders going down with cramp in games, but even he's struggling with cramp.
A bruised ego earlier on when he conceded that own goal, but he's bounced back, shown his character, as have the whole Liverpool team, and in particular, of course, Captain Marvin out there. Steven Gerrard. One of the greatest strikes, surely, in FA Cup final history. It flew past Xhaka Hislop. There was absolutely nothing he could do. Daly. Maciejewski to Benayoun. Finnan really is struggling. He might get a run on him here. All three substitutes have been used, remember. So Finnan has to stay out there. Hammer. Gerrard. Liverpool, the 6 times winners in their 13th final. Is it going to be now unlucky 13 for them? Finnan to Herpia. Sissoko swapping passes with Morientes. Is Gerrard to Haman. Okay, Liverpool prepared to be patient here as they probe at West Ham. Sissoko, another who has covered so much ground. He's so combative and aggressive in the midfield. And what they want to see now, the Liverpool fans, is a complete recovery, a complete comeback by their team. Down at 2-0, but certainly not out. And once again, they have bounced their way back into this final at 3-3. Sheringham. Only as far as Risa, letting fly! And it was not far away then from the Norwegian. 3 goals, remember, in the earlier rounds. 3 crackers as well.
Well, when the ball comes out to him, West Ham can't get to him quick enough. He has time to assess what he's going to do, and that is inches away from going in that top corner. I'm not sure if Xhaka would have got to that. He's after it, but if it had been in that top corner, it just would have sneaked in, I think.
He's about 6'7", isn't he, Xhaka? So if anyone can, he can. I agree, I'm not sure he would have kept that out. Hammer. Now Risa. Decent ball as well for Kropka. Konchesky was struggling. Gavidan just lost his footing as well. It must be very greasy in that penalty box, I would think. Benayoun. He's played with such zest for West Ham today. But it's a Liverpool throw, despite his protest to the contrary. The Israeli came to West Ham on the recommendation of Isle Berkovic, the former Hammer. And he's been a big success, a revelation really. Signed from Racing Santander in Spain. And whatever happens today, they would seem to have a very positive future, West Ham, on this evidence. But it's Risa now for Liverpool. 3rd place in the Premiership. Now they want a prize, a trophy, to round off their season. Morientes. That was Cisse. Kronkamp arriving. And Konchesky on his guard there. I'm sure he heard him coming in. Corner to Liverpool. And that will be the signal for Herpia to come up from the back. But not Carragher.
Well, the problem Liverpool have got is they're virtually playing with 2 half-fit defenders at the moment.
That was Finnan. Cisse couldn't get his foot round it.
What a chance that was. What a chance. Morientes there, misheaded it, should have done better himself. Cisse totally free, just needed a good first touch and it would have been a strike on goal and should have scored. But caught unawares when the ball was headed to him by Morientes.
1 or 2 little arguments going on back there for West Ham. Anton Ferdinand asking questions of his goalkeeper Xhaka Hislop. But no harm done in the end. West Ham survive. Almost 10 minutes gone in the first period of extra time. Finnan. He certainly isn't moving too freely. They barely run.
Well, Liverpool have got Carragher, they've got Finnan, and Steven Gerrard is still keeps stretching off. He just asked Morientes to go back into the middle of the field there for him for 5 minutes because he just felt he couldn't get back there.
Risa. Now Sissoko. Steve Finnan. Barely mobile. I'm more mobile than him. I've got gout at the moment.
Well,
Here's Kropgap.
that might be taking it a little bit far.
That's Finnan. Towards Cisse. Now Morientes. If any viewers have any remedies for gout, perhaps they let us know. I'll put Ray's phone number, his home number on the screen a little later on. There's only about 2 billion watching. Here's Daly. Benayoun. Very painful gout. This is Kaczewski. Benayoun again. Zamora, lovely little ball, then a cute little pass from Benayoun. This is Teddy Sheringham. Thought about winding up for a shot on goal then. Harewood. And Reina collects. Not under too much pressure, but at this stage, mistakes can happen. In this final, anything could happen. Haman. Gerrard sitting off the pace for a moment. Cisse. For those fetching yellow boots. It's just too heavy though for Fernando Morientes. Now Daly. Maybe Zamora prepared to go for this one. Although Sheringham is up as well, and Zamora left his leg trailing there. Bit of a jokey character in the dressing room, Zamora, but nothing funny about that tackle then. On Risa, it's just been spoken to, but no more than that by Alan Wiley. It's tense. It's very, very tense. And at the moment, we're heading for another penalty shootout. The first one, of course, last year ever. Goalless between Manchester United and Arsenal, and it was the Gunners who came through in the end. Gerrard. Kropgap. He's done some good work down this right side since coming on. Finnan. Now it's Haman. Gerrard. Daly was very tight. I think he saw it coming then, in fairness, Steven Gerrard, but he's got the free kick.
Yeah, I think definitely there, he used all his experience there. A little look over his shoulder as the ball was being played in. He sees him there, puts his body in front of Daly, and Daly falls for it.
Rafa Benitez says he really has matured as a player, Steven Gerrard. And there was evidence of that, I think, on that occasion. He knew what he was doing. And he's earned his team a decent opportunity here. Gerrard, of course, wants to be involved. Haman alongside. Xhaka prancing on his line. Here is Gerrard. Looking for Herpier, but not finding him. But here's Herpier now, the Finnish international. Oh, Sami Herpier!
Well, that would have been everything. And any forward would have been pleased with that tight little turn. He looked to be in a corner as it's knocked out here. He looks to be in all sort of problem. He surely can't turn. He's turned inside out, knocked it onto his right foot, and that's inches away.
Agonisingly close then from Herpier, who scored his first FA Cup goal ever in the 7-0 win at Birmingham. Very early on too, as I recall. Only inches away then from what might have been a dramatic winner for Liverpool. Cisse is now in big trouble. He's limping over on the far side.
Well, you have to say physically West Ham are looking the better side at the moment, because you've got Cisse, who looks like he's got a problem with his hamstring. You've got Finnan, who's definitely got a groin problem. You've got Gerrard, who is having little bits of cramp, and you've got Carragher at the back, who's also struggling when he's really being pushed. So physically they're the best, but can they take it on to actually put Liverpool under pressure in the last third of the field, which they haven't done in this first period?
Not that way from Yossi Benayoun. Zamora had gone the other way, if anything. Now Cisse is clearly in distress. He'll have to soldier on. Teddy Sheringham. Really sound defending by Carragher, but he's gone to ground now. There's nobody fit and running out there.
So at the end of
apart from Teddy. He looks the freshest.
The score remains Liverpool.
That's great stuff though. Half time in extra time. And some urgent treatment, repairs needed here. Massage a few limbs and ready the players for one final assault, one last 15 minutes here. But there are, Ray Clement, some really tired bodies out there, no two ways about that.
No, without a shadow of a doubt. And I say Liverpool, always renowned for their fitness and being able to go through right the way to the end. They're going to really be tested now, because they've definitely got 4 players out there who are struggling either with little niggles in muscles or are cramping up. And they've got to get through another 15 minutes somehow, and that the spirit within them is going to have to be shown yet again. West Ham are on their feet, they're all together, they're looking as fresh as you can look at this stage in extra time. But it's whether West Ham can get Liverpool's back 4 under pressure. And as I say, they didn't do it in the first 15 minutes. And if they can't, then it could well be that we'll see the penalties again.
Sent down a signal, that's what Alan Pardew is saying. He's got his players straight back out there, ready to show Liverpool they are up for this. I think that's Cisse's leg here. It's been bandaged up. Oh, what a day. West Ham, who would so love, of course, to provide a fitting memorial for those 2 Hammers heroes from recent times who sadly passed away this year. Ron Greenwood, manager of the 1964 FA Cup winning team, and his successor John Lyall, who led the Hammers to FA Cup triumph in 1975 and again 5 years later. Or will this be Liverpool's afternoon in the sun? Herpier. Now Sissoko, who is taking a gamble incidentally by not wearing protective glasses for that eye injury. Morientes. Kroenkamp free away to his right. Konchesky wasn't really tight on him, it's Kroenkamp. And maybe the wrong man in that threatening position, although he did have 2 in the middle in Cisse and Morientes. Well,
he actually had time there. He's broken through there. He's in a great position to have a strike on goal. But if he'd actually looked up, he might have had another touch, knocked it forward, squared it, and Morientes and Cisse were arriving in the box. But nothing wrong with him having a go there, just couldn't get it on target.
Liverpool fans out of their seats behind the goal. But back in them now, wincing at what might have been. Harewood. Sheringham won't get there though before Sami Herpier. Sure-footed at the back for Liverpool. That was Daly's header. It's gone astray though to Gerrard, who might shoot from anywhere. Kroenkamp. Cisse's in the box, so is Morientes. No real response though from Cisse, who can hardly run.
No, I think Cisse might try to have got across the front of Gabbiadon there, but just can't move now at the moment, not at pace anyway.
Maybe an hour ago, but not now. Sissoko trying to wriggle free, then Haman, Teresa. Liverpool defender straining every sinew to keep Liverpool out, and this is Yossi Benayoun. Too long though, asking too much really of Bobby Zamora for all his finishing potential. Another Bobby Zamora who's shown what he can do at the top level this season, answering his critics. Didn't really get too many opportunities with Tottenham. He only played half a dozen times, at least in terms of starting matches at White Hart Lane. But he has made an impression with West Ham. Harewood, now Scaloni. Goal kick. It must have come off the Argentine. As he was challenged then by Sissoko, who's also limping.
Well, Sissoko's put some miles in as well. He's really been the one in the middle of the field who's driven everybody on, has won it, kept it simple, and has allowed the likes of Gerrard to go forward and be more creative for them.
An epic cup final, but which team will be the stronger now? Who can summon up the energy to go on and win the thing? Sheringham to Benayoun. Zamora wanting it played down that left side. He's got Carragher for company. And he's won the corner, Bobby Zamora, through his endeavour. Up comes Ferdinand. Sheringham in the middle too, always a threat. Rio Coker positioned just outside the box. Zamora's in the 6-yard area. Reina got a fist to it, but I think he was being jostled there. He was impeded.
Yes, he was, but it wasn't a bad finish from Scaloni when it dropped out to him, was it? But yeah, you can see here Zamora's across the face of him, stopping him getting to it. He reaches over, but certainly Zamora's trying to stop him from getting to the ball, making no attempt to get to it himself.
Fairly innocuous, but then that's goalkeepers for you.
We need all the protection we can get.
Scaloni. Too much protection. Here's Sheringham. Benayoun. Zamora's drifted away to the far side over on the left there. This is Scaloni. Marauding forward now for West Ham. Sheringham. Risa to mop up. Offside says Sammy Herpier, but the assistant down below us doesn't agree. That's a throw to West Ham. Christian Daly. That was Morientes lunging out a leg. Anton Ferdinand. Gerrard got a bit sloppy, pressurised then by Sheringham, but it's Haman who comes away with the ball. Advantage, good advantage played by the referee. Fernandez caught in possession though by Rio Coker. Goodness, he's got some tackles in today. Sissoko. Gerrard is down injured. There's about 4 of them injured at the moment. There are very few standing out there. Cropcap, Gabidon stretching. Christian Daly. I'm exhausted watching. And Risa Sporting has gone across here to the West Ham player who's down. Meantime, there's help for Gerrard from Herpier. Real pain etched on the face then of the Liverpool captain. But he has surely written his name now in Liverpool folklore yet again with his wonderful goal. 2 goals. And he'll have to carry on for the last few minutes. Harewood. Some attention for him as well. Like a casualty ward out there. Sissoko with a challenge on Harewood that sent him flying to the ground. In a lung-busting afternoon, Ray.
It certainly has. And looking at Steven Gerrard when he reports to the England World Cup squad on Monday, I think he'll probably having the week off.
I need a week off. And he's grafted so hard, Marlon Harewood. His dad wanted him to be a cricketer. He's turned into a very useful footballer. Made his name initially, of course, with Nottingham Forest. And now he's had a super season for West Ham. It can't have been that far away, I would have thought, from an England call-up. I'm sure you can't comment on that as England's goalkeeping coach, so I won't even bother to ask you, Ray, but I think he was quite close. It won't reach Cisse, thanks to Ferdinand. Harewood is still being attended to down below me. Yossi Benayoun. Where does he get his energy from? Here's Sheringham to Daly. Now Scaloni. Benayoun's made tracks into the middle, so is Sheringham. Just too long for Sheringham, but only just. Sissoko. I'm sure he was yapped aside, he was, by Christian Daly. Seven minutes to go as Harewood limps back on valiantly. Hardly worth the effort. He can't contribute.
They would be desperate to try and get him back on something like that, because I'm sure if it comes to the end, he would be one of their penalty takers. So they'll be desperate to get him back on if they possibly can.
And in this Roy of the Rovers game, they'll go and hit the winner. Sissoko. Carragher. Still no sign of Harewood returning. His boots off now. Not exactly in a deck chair though. Kropka to Finnan. Rafa Benitez bellowing at his players over on the far side. Momo Sissoko. He's given Liverpool such an abrasive edge in midfield this season. Benitez felt he was the type of player they needed, alongside the likes of Gerrard and Alonso, to bring the best out of them. It's a stumble by Finnan, who's really struggling to get back now. Bobby Zamora. Just brushing off Herpia. Still Zamora. And the boyhood West Ham fan was sensing glory then. His eyes were lighting up. But in the end he was stopped in his tracks.
Well, it's the last thing that Liverpool's back four need to run at the moment is somebody like Bobby Zamora running at them, and the only way that Herpia can get to him, he stumbled into the back of him, and therefore the free kick's given. But certainly Zamora's got bags of energy, came on late in the game, and if he gets a chance to run at Liverpool like that, he will cause them problems.
Some of the wounded aren't even walking out there. It might be Zamora, it might be Benayoun, it might be Teddy Sheringham, and Konchesky's there too.
Certainly won't be Harewood.
Don't you write anything off in this game. Remember, Alan Pardew got the winner in the semi-final for Palace against Liverpool once. This is Benayoun. Even Pardew might come on. Scaloni. Hamat to play it away. Now Cisse. Have Liverpool run out of steam? Not yet. Not yet. Sissoko. Morientes in the middle. Fernando Morientes, and that was a terrific saving tackle there by Anton Ferdinand. Just got there in the nick of time to rescue his team. Fernandez on the prowl, was waiting to pounce. Now he's injured as well. Is the referee all right? He is. Everybody else has gone. Finnan. Haman. Sheringham was after him. Here's Morientes. Sissoko. 3-3, it could have been 6-6. Wonderful stuff. Haman. Just the kind of game that makes this old game of ours such a great one.
Well, as you say, Peter, when you see games like this, you realise why you're involved in this game, and these are the games you want to see, and it gives you that buzz that proves that this game of football is the best game in the world, without a shadow of a doubt. It takes you through so many emotions.
Konchesky. The 125th FA Cup final has been a treasure. Kind of game which shows why the FA Cup has retained its aura and its worldwide appeal for over a century. Is there yet to be a sting in the tail, an extraordinary tale in Cardiff's Millennium Stadium this afternoon. The Suns come out and the two teams have come out and turned on a magnificent performance. And there certainly does not deserve to be a loser. Morientes to Cisse. There has to be a loser, and it looks now as if that is going to be settled by a penalty shootout, unless Nigel Rio-Coker. Zamora. Tripped by Di Mohamed. Well, he's been cautioned by Alan Wiley, which maybe is a little harsh at this stage. I think the biggest punishment is that the free kick's been conceded where it has been.
Yeah, Haman finished out there because obviously Finnan is struggling there. Doesn't want to leave him one against any white shirt. So Haman went out there and finished up committing the foul to save Finnan being exposed.
Yossi Benayoun to whip this one in. Rayner across, the bar off the post, and then wide by the limping Marlon Harewood. Oh.
Well, I mean, Rayner's not. Did he get a touch on that? But Harewood, he just can't adjust. He's struggling for his life with the injury. Just cannot adjust here. It's gone off the back of Harewood's head in the first place. Hippier injured himself there, and Harewood just can't. It's that left foot again, even when he's fit, but he's obviously struggling there and just couldn't get his balance to direct into the empty net.
He can't kick with his left foot. Remember that screamer in the semi-final? Well, it certainly ricocheted off the frame of the goal. And to Liverpool's utter relief and West Ham's utter despair, the chance went a begging. Here's Morientes. Suddenly the action switches to the other end. Seconds to go. Kupczewski for West Ham. Pardew and Benitez over on the far side imploring their teams now just to either keep it tight or go for a winner. Zamora.
Sissoko's now gone down. I mean, again, doesn't surprise me. Just the work he's put in. I mean, he's probably covered more miles than anybody on the Liverpool side, and it's got to him, and he just cannot put one leg in front of the other at the moment.
1 extra minute, as if we haven't had enough drama already, and there's plenty more to come if it does go to the shootout. No fears for Liverpool, and I'm sure Alan Pardew has his team well prepared as well. Did this come off Harewood or was it Rio-Coker? Hard to see, but Rayner was really stretching. I'm not sure if he got his fingertips to that or not. But a major let off for Liverpool. He did get his hand to it.
He did, yeah. It was a tremendous touch, it really was. But it still is left to this man Harewood here. There's an empty net there virtually. Just needs to get it on target. And just through the injury, no other reason, just could not get his balance.
And the fans over on that far side rising to Momo Sissoko. Fatigue has certainly set in for him. Just about everybody out there. He'll be exhausted too. Rafa Benitez. There'll be a few extra seconds because of that latest delay. Bobby Zamora, and it will be a penalty shootout to decide the last FA Cup final in the Millennium Stadium. There is more drama to come. He'll have his team well prepared. Remember Istanbul last year, and Alan Pardew hopes his team are up for it as well. But a wonderful game, Ray Clements.
Well, it certainly was, and as the final whistle went there, the whole stadium stood up, both sets of supporters, and applauded, because both their teams, you know, they've given everything they possibly can. We've seen everything that's good about English football this afternoon and everything that's good about the FA Cup. It really has been an incredible game. And yes, we're going to have a decision. There is going to be a winner here, but for me, both these sides are winners for the effort they've put in and the display they've put on for everybody inside this stadium and around the world.
Didi Hatman will take the first kick for Liverpool against Shaka Hislop, the man who a year ago thought his career was just about over. He didn't dream, I'm sure, that he would be in this kind of situation. Haman against Hislop and scores eventually. Very cool, right?
No, it's a well-taken penalty. I think that Alan Wiley spoke to the goalkeepers before to say, look, I don't want you coming forward off the line, where we've seen a lot of goalkeepers in the past. They're allowed to move along the line, but not to come forward. And we've seen a lot of that happening, and certainly there Xhaka stayed on his line when normally they might be a couple of yards forward.
Bobby Zamora, oh, he saved it! Well, he has such a reputation for keeping out penalty kicks, and he's come up with another blinding stop here. Pepe Reina.
That was a tremendous save. He's taken a step forward, but he's got to really stretch into that bottom corner. And it's a good penalty, to be fair, but Pepe Reina, that's a fabulous save. That really is.
Made saves in a penalty shootout for Villarreal, his former club, in the final of the Intertoto Cup against Atletico Madrid. Pepe Reina, that got them through to the UEFA Cup proper, and he's made a lot of saves too in 90-minute games. Here comes Herpio. Oh, that's been saved as well.
Well, that really was a tired penalty, if ever I've seen one. His body language as he comes up to it there, he doesn't make good contact with it at all, and it's a very comfortable save for Xhaka Hislop to make. So, you know, I think as Paul Walsh talked about, you know, tiredness in this penalty shootout, and that certainly showed.
Teddy Sheringham. Can he beat Reina? He can! Sheringham celebrates, so do the West Ham faithful behind that goal. Come on, come on, that's the cry from the veteran striker.
You don't get a cooler person under pressure than Teddy Sheringham. I've seen him throughout his career, and if ever you wanted somebody in a penalty shootout to come out and take a vital one, then he would be the man.
1-1. Steven Gerrard. Such a hero in the match itself. Eyes staring, focused, and he scores.
When I think of these penalty shootouts, it's all about making good contact with the ball, striking it as firmly as you can. If you try and be clever at these penalty shootouts, I think goalkeepers will suss you out, and they've got chances of making saves against you. But when they're hit with the sort of power Gerrard hit the ball then, you've got no chance even if you go the right way.
Kaczewski. Reina again. I'm not sure it was right back on his line.
No, he's getting further and further away, and I'm not sure, you know, if Alan Wiley might have a word with him, but certainly Kaczewski tried to hit it down the middle. A lot of players in these situations do, because goalkeepers tend to go one way or the other. And Reina was still agile enough to get his feet to it and knock it away.
Alan Pardew fears the worst. John Arnaisa, the spotlight is on him now. Confronting him is Xhaka Hislop. But it was too strong. Brock Risa. 3-1.
Straight down the middle. Risa knows how vital that is. He's just hit it with power, kept his head down. To be fair, the same as Kaczewski did, but unfortunately for Hislop, he couldn't get his feet up to knock it away.
It's Ferdinand, saved again by Reina, and Liverpool have won the FA Cup. Pepe Reina may not have had the best of days in the match itself, but goodness me, he has been a hero in the penalty shootout, and it's Liverpool's day after all.
Well, as you rightly say, I'm sure Pepe Reina will look at his 90 minutes and think, that's probably one of the most inconsistent games I've had this season for Liverpool. But when it mattered in the penalties, he came up with trumps. And certainly 2 of the 3 saves he made was absolutely magnificent, and deserves all the praise now that he's getting from his teammates.
celebrations, and he's the man of the moment. Ferdinand's kick kept up by Reina. He gets the right way. Was that 3 saves?
3 saves. The first one was tremendous. The second one was maybe a little bit fortunate. That one there, certainly, I think Anton Ferdinand would say that he didn't hit it as well as he'd like to have done. But Reina's still got to go the right way, and he's still got to get something on it. And he did it, and full credit to him.
The FA Cup is heading for Merseyside. Winners of the first final here at the Millennium Stadium 5 years ago, and now they've won the last one as well. But goodness me, there was some drama along the way, and he will be a very, very relieved man. And, well, no wonder. Absolute despair and dejection for those who have followed the team in claret and blue. Very much the underdogs, but 2 goals up at one stage. Back came Liverpool, a thrilling match. And then the final drum with a penalty shootout, which has gone Liverpool's way. Such bitter disappointment for Alan Pardew and his team. Their first FA Cup final since 1980. Winners as the underdogs that day, but not this time. Alan Harewood, who worked so hard, as Liverpool extend their winning sequence to 12 games and present Rafa Benitez, their likeable and much respected coach, with his first domestic trophy. At the end of an extraordinary afternoon, it's finished Liverpool 3, West Ham 3, but Liverpool win 3-1 on penalties.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, please
an unforgettable afternoon, and in truth, and I'm sure all of you watching around the world will agree with me, there are no losers today. This has been a memorable final, and all credit to West Ham for the part that they have played in it, as Nigel Reo-Coker, their young captain, leads up his beleaguered troops. But they should be, Ray Clements, very proud of their contribution today.
Well, you just got to look at the stadium. The whole stadium is up. Every Liverpool supporter is applauding West Ham's efforts. Every single one. As West Ham fans have stayed because they know how much effort these lads in white have put in. And the Liverpool fans are full of praise for them as well, because everybody, they know how hard they've pushed Liverpool. They've pushed Liverpool to the very, very limits in terms of it was Liverpool who looked physically the side that were more tired in the end. They're not the winners, but to every West Ham fan, they can be going back down that motorway tonight being very, very proud of their team's efforts.
A big consolation too, of course. They will be in Europe, they will be in the UEFA Cup next season for the first time in almost 30 years, because of course Liverpool will be playing in the Champions League. But it's wonderful to see the response and reception given to the West Ham players by, as Ray was saying, they're all the Liverpool fans as well, all rising as one to salute West Ham and their contribution.
Well, you look at the Liverpool players walking up here.
walking?
Hobbling, struggling to get up those stairs.
That is a measure of how much these players have put in today, how much they have grafted. Sami Hyypiä, who back at the start of the season didn't think he'd be involved in another major final, I'm sure. Pepe Reina, the hero then of the shootout, but so many heroes from both teams in this epic FA Cup final. It's always going to be hard for Alan Pardew and his West Ham team, but 2-0 up, they must have thought they had a wonderful chance of winning it. Cisse, another who can hardly struggle there along the rostrum. And Steven Gerrard, what a hero, the Players' Player of the Year. A year ago held aloft so excitedly the European Champions League trophy. Now it's the FA Cup, another proud moment for this magnificent player. The heartbeat of the Liverpool team, a hero for the red half of Merseyside, hopefully for England too.